This will be a discussion about factory overhead, overapplied versus underapplied. As we incur factory overhead, I'm going to go ahead and bring up a T account. I think it's easier to follow that way. If I have my factory overhead account, as I incur the costs associated with the factory overhead, I'm going to accumulate the actual costs over on this side, on the left side. And as we apply it, we're going to be crediting the account. So the costs as they come in, I'm going to incur supervisor salary, I'm going to incur other indirect labor costs, indirect material costs, as well as factory overhead costs associated with the depreciation of machinery and so on and so forth. So all of those actual factory overhead costs are going to be accumulated on that side. During production, we are going to be charging or applying to my work in process various items. We're going to apply the direct materials, obviously. They'll be going in. We're going to apply my direct labor is going to go in. Then those are transferred into my work in process. I'm also going to be applying some factory overhead to the work in process. Those three costs will make up our product costs. Our product costs then get transferred out as completed to finished goods. Now let's look at the end of the period, say the year. We may have incurred a $1 million. I'm just making this number up for purposes. And we may have incurred a $1 million in actual factory overhead. And during the year, we may have applied $998,000. So in this case, we've applied $998,000. Our actual costs were $1 million. We have therefore underapplied. We haven't applied enough. Okay? So in this case, we have underapplied $2,000. Okay? That amount we would transfer out to zero out the factory overhead. The easiest way that most companies do it is they're going to transfer that under or over applied amount straight to or directly to cost of goods sold. So in this case, we have a debit balance in factory overhead. We need to credit it for $2,000, and we would debit our cost of goods sold for $2,000. Okay? On that page in the book, it has a footnote. You need to read that because that is a question that is asked on the test. And there's also another method which could be used, and they could apply that extra $2,000 by allocating it to the work in process, finished goods, and cost of goods sold, and they would do it as a percentage to each one of those. So that's a valid question. So it's not a question, it's always applied to the cost of goods sold. That would be an incorrect answer because we could do it either of two ways. If it were underapplied, let's change the numbers. If we had actual cost of $1 million and we had applied instead, wrong pen, instead we had applied $1,001,000, then we would have overapplied. We would have applied $1,000 too much. And so we'd have a credit balance. We need to zero this account out. We would debit our factory overhead for $1,000, and we would credit cost of goods sold for $1,000.